Alright, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing. Alright everyone, welcome back to another stream. This is Doom! Yes, Doom, a game that you may have heard of before. Or maybe have seen on this channel before. I woke up today with the surprise that Bethesda has re-released Doom and Doom 2 on modern consoles. Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 4. And so I actually was up early today. I've been up for several hours now. Normally I work overnights and I sleep during the day, but I just completely botched my sleep schedule. So I figured, hey, it's early Saturday afternoon. Let's go ahead and do a stream, and I will stream these newly released Doom games that Bethesda brought out. First impressions are not that great. I mean, it is Doom. You know, Doom's one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's probably one of the best games of all time. Still is. But, you know, you can get Doom at a lot of other places. You can play the PC version via source ports and just get the most polished, smoothest, up-to-date Doom experience that way. The Xbox 360 and Xbox One also had the old Xbox Live Arcade versions, which are actually still quite solid. PS3's got Doom Classics complete as well. And so this version, so far it looks like, you know, I haven't actually played it yet. I've just watched the demo, and then I got stuck at something else that you guys will see in just a minute. The frame rate doesn't look perfect. I feel like there's like this weird graphical filtered effect around certain enemies. The music's really, really slow, and I'm hearing lots of sound effect glitching as well. So yeah, so far it doesn't seem like this is all that great compared to what's already available. Now, Nintendo Switch owners do have a portable way of playing Doom now, which is really cool, assuming you haven't hacked your Switch. And then PlayStation 4 owners can also now play Doom and Doom 2. Doom 3 was also ported. I actually bought that as well. I bought all of these. I spent $20 on these games just to eventually stream them for you guys. But I don't plan on showing off Doom 3 today. But apparently that port is pretty solid. But these ports of Doom and Doom 2, like I said, not leaving me with a great first impression. Even that Doom logo there just looks really... It just looks bad. It just... I don't know, man. Alright, so I don't want to complain too much. It is Doom. We'll probably still have a good time with this, and it should be a fun stream. I'm going to show off both games. I don't know how long I'm going to stream, though. Like, I thought to myself... Do I want to make this an 8-hour stream and, do I want to make this an 8-hour stream and just play through both games from start to finish? Probably not. That's probably not going to happen. But, we'll spend several hours with this at the very least. So, we will spend several hours with this, and, yeah. So let's see how this goes. Krusty, welcome back, man. How are you doing, dude? I see your G got upgraded, man, as a channel member. And Pip asks, so is the game worth buying now? Right now, I mean, it depends on your use case scenario. If you don't have Doom on any other console, or if you have like a PS4 or you have a Switch, you know, it might still be worth buying if you want, say, like portable Doom, or you want a way to play Doom on like your PS4. I don't know. if you're like me and you've got Doom on like 1,000 different systems, then no, it's not worth buying. It's completely unnecessary. So far, the port doesn't seem to be as good as it should be. So I would not recommend buying it if you're someone like me that has Doom on 1,000 systems. But, you know, there are some people out there that could use a port of Doom. And for them, I'd say probably even with the issues, it's probably still worth buying. It's not like these things are going to break the bank. Doom is $5, and then Doom 2 is $5 as well. So for $10, you get both Ultimate Doom and Doom 2. I'm surprised that they actually just named it Doom, though. It should be Ultimate Doom, since it, from what I understand, it has the 4th episode. Like, that was just a demo of the 4th episode, 2nd level in the 4th episode. So, I'm surprised it doesn't call it Ultimate Doom, but whatever, I digress. So, but yeah, let me scroll through the chat here, and then we'll do the Patreon shoutouts and whatnot, and then we'll start playing. And, so Carlos, welcome back, man. Johnny, Office, Zanctum, and Desan, Shane, Alex. Shane Alex is walking home from work. Something to listen to. Hell yeah. And no more inner demons. He was actually over on my Twitch stream earlier. Mr. Reader. Joseph. Casey. So Casey actually asked, have you thought about speedrunning Doom someday? And I answered no, but I have actually thought about trying to maybe mess around with some speedrun techniques on the game, just to see, like, I know the levels really well because I played a ton of Doom, and so with the games, like, I really know really well, those are good, like, speedrun choices for me, or just to dabble with speedrunning, like, those are really good choices, and so I could actually see myself trying to mess around with speedrunning Doom, but probably not taking it particularly seriously, but I wouldn't mind trying it. So Mr. wanted a portable version of Doom for a while, so getting it on the Switch will be awesome. Yeah. So for people like him that have a good use case scenario, then I could see this version being worth it. But again, if you're like me and you've already owned the game a bunch of times, it's not worth it. And Mike Guns. And then at the very beginning, Lovelorn Nick said, I've been playing through 1 and 2 on the Switch. Also got 1 on PS4. Both versions are exactly the same. He says, this port sucks. The music is 2 times slower and the screen is stretched to 16:9. So, yeah, that's someone that's been playing it for a little while now, apparently. So, but, okay. So with that, let's go do the old Patreon shoutouts. So thanks everyone that is continuing to back my channel on places like Patreon. If anyone's interested in getting my Let's Plays early and participating in Q&A sessions, links are in the description box below. Likewise with the recent live stream super chatters and channel members. I didn't shout you guys out last time, but I wanted to give a big shout out to Omri, Assad, and Trevor Student, who both actually backed my channel as channel members. And thanks to Snazzy Crowd the other day, who gave a very generous super chat donation. So much appreciated, guys. Just a heads up, I have brought a Discord server back. It's patrons only, so you can be a Patreon backer or a YouTube channel member or a Twitch subscriber. If you link your Discord account, or if you go to your connections tab on Discord and link your YouTube account or your Twitch or whatever you're a member of, my Discord server will pop up for you. So if you want to, for some people that's a much easier way of getting, my videos early, they can check the Discord. It's easier than, say, going to Patreon or something like that. So, but alright, let's fire up my controller here. And so this is like the really bad part. You hit a button to start, you select your profile, and then it wants you to log on to Bethesda.net. You can't actually back out of this. It's actually really poorly implemented. You literally have to log in or exit the game completely manually, like going home like this, and then on Xbox One, quitting the game manually. We are doing this on Xbox One. But, so what I'm going to do here is log in, oh man, I actually bought an Xbox One chat pad the other day. That would actually be perfect for this right now. Oh man, what did I do with that? It might be out in the other room. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so I've got to type some stuff in, so we're going to switch over to this. I had a fluffy cat here right before I started the stream, but she has left us. So, it doesn't want me. And it keeps automatically going uppercase too, which is really annoying. So yeah, I have to type in my stuff here, I have to log in basically, and obviously I don't want to give you guys my logon information. Not that I really care that much about Bethesda.net. Bethesda.net. I think I only have one game on that, and it's Quake Champions. But I also got that on Steam, so it doesn't even really matter. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, this is such a pain. Yeah, so just bear with me here, guys. We're gonna have to do this for Doom 2 as well when we switch over to that. Yeah, so earlier today I had to reset my Bethesda.net account because, or my password for it, because I don't ever use it, you know. I try not to use multiple PC distribution services. And, okay, there we go. So it looks like we're good. So I logged in. And, so yeah, this is it. There's no online multiplayer on this. Which for Xbox One owners is kind of a slap to the face. Because the Xbox Live Arcade versions, which are still solid ports of the game, you can play them online still. But you can't do that in this version of the game. So very disappointing there. And let's check out what our options are. This is actually the first time I've gotten this far, so we're all experiencing this together for the first time. So let's check out our audio options. Everything's just maxed out. Okay. Gameplay. Sensitivity. Always run. Let's enable always run. I'm glad that is an option, so that's pretty cool. You gotta be kidding me. You can't configure your controls? You gotta be freaking kidding me, man. Not that it's a big deal. I mean, the controls look fine to me. I mean, both sticks to move. But that's actually highly disappointing. You can't configure your controls. You're stuck with what it gives you. Hey, Arioka, welcome back. And Andrew. And Mr. Mark for here. Lactobacillus Prime. Corporate greed, something far removed from the developers' gamer side of things. Probably wanted this to be put in so they can rake in the money. Yeah, well, the Bethesda launcher thing, guys. Bethesda actually literally just tweeted a few minutes ago that it was apparently it was supposed to be optional, but because they might just be covering up a really bad decision that was intentional from the beginning. We don't know. But Bethesda has openly stated now that, yeah, this is going to get a patch, and the mandatory logon is going to be... There's supposed to be an option. You're supposed to be able to back out of it. It's for people that have a Bethesda.net account. Apparently, they track your stats and stuff like that as you play games, and you can get, like, achievements and things like that. So it's a way for Bethesda.net account owners to log in and track their stats. You know, so if you go to someone's Bethesda.net profile or something like that, you can see all the games they played and blah, blah, blah. So that's, to my understanding, that's what that's for. That's what Bethesda has actually said, so... And Krusty goes, now you can know your password. I have the backwards compatible version of the new games on Xbox One. Not going to buy the new ones from Bethesda for sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the original Xbox Live Arcade versions are still good. So... Yeah, and you have this big code of conduct thing, which is just absolutely ridiculous. You don't have to look at it, but I'm looking at it just for fun, so... it's, Doom 3 is apparently the BFG edition, Arioka. I do have that. I mean, I could fire it up at the end of the stream. I didn't... you know, actually, come to think of it, since well, I didn't install it, though. It's like, Yeah, I didn't install it, so... Alright, let's go ahead and just do Knee Deep in the Dead, Ultra Violence, and we'll see how this goes. Yeah, sensitivity is definitely high. Let me... move the sensitivity down a little bit. Yeah, frame rate is a little, I don't know, is it 30 FPS? Or is it running at the original 35 FPS? I have no idea. It doesn't feel... I don't know, it just doesn't feel that smooth, to be honest with you. At the end of the stream, I think what we're going to do too is also load up the Xbox Live Arcade versions of these. Just to see how they compare, because it has been a little while since I played them. But I think at the end of the stream, we'll jump into those for just a quick minute. Jeez, feels like my auto aim just isn't working. But yeah, we'll give those a try and just kind of see how they compare. Yeah, Arioka, I mean, Doom 3 on the original Xbox is actually still a great version of the game. They did a really, really good job with that port. Yeah, really, really nice job with that port. This is gonna take me a while to get used to this. I've been playing so much keyboard and mouse lately. Like, switching over to analog controls here is odd. And you can't use the D-pad at all. So you have to use the shoulder keys, apparently, to switch weapons. You can't use the D-pad at all. I think it actually would have been really nice to be able to use the D-pad for movement. I can't believe they don't give you an option to change your controls. I think that was an awful decision. Absolutely awful decision. Yeah, no control options is... I mean, again, Doom is a pretty simple game from a control standpoint. It's really... yeah, it's fairly simplistic from a control standpoint, but I think having more options is just good, you know? Flexibility is a good thing. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and exit. I mean, everything looks really sharp, though. I mean, there is that. So, you know... yeah, I mean, everything's sharp. Which, you know, some people will like that. But yeah, the frame rate doesn't feel quite right. Yeah. Still better than SNES Doom. Well, yeah, I mean, anything's better than SNES Doom. Yeah, no, this is definitely not 60 FPS. I'm thinking it's 30. I don't think it's running at the game's original 35 FPS that the MS-DOS version ran at. Of course, I could be wrong because, you know, it's not like I'm measuring it like Digital Foundry or someone like that. Yeah, it is kind of weird too, because I'm so used to playing with the frame rates interpolated on my source ports. So I play Doom at 60 FPS these days on PC. And I think it actually would have been really cool if this version did that, because as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been a home version of Doom to run at higher than 30 or 35 FPS. I think that would have made these definitely worth picking up. You know, having Doom running at a buttery smooth 60 FPS. Yeah, and the I think I don't know if what I'm hearing is just like a lack of sound channels. If they're trying to simulate like a really limited, you know, set of sound channels. But I noticed that sound effects seem to cut out and sort of override one another. It's really weird. And there are these really odd stereo effects too, where the sounds are either hard left or hard right, and they're not, the sounds aren't blending in the both ears. And it's actually very jarring. Very jarring, actually. I think it's one of the worst parts of this. People have complained about the slow music, and I'm definitely hearing that too. It's pretty obvious. I can at least get used to that. I mean, even the Xbox 360 versions, I believe their music was somewhat slow too. But the harsh sound effects, that's a whole other issue. That's gonna take way more time to get. I don't think I'll ever get used to it, actually. Does the look feel any different from the 360 port? I can't really tell you that, Arioka, because I haven't really played the 360 port recently. I remember the 360 port feeling... I'm pretty sure I remember feeling a lot like this. I mean, this has actually... Now that I've been putting a couple minutes into this now, you know, we're on the second level, you know, I'm starting to get the hang of it again, and, you know, with analog controls, it feels fine. So that's good. But the sound effects, yeah, that's definitely throwing me off big time. Oh yeah, I mean, MIDI support on classic Doom, yeah, it's so good. I don't have a Gravis Ultrasound, but I do have a device that has general MIDI support. Forgot what its chip is. It's a Yamaha-based card, and yeah, it sounds so good using general MIDI support on classic DOS Doom. We streamed the full version of Doom. Actually, did we do both? I think we did both Doom and Doom 2 in one sitting on my Windows 98 machine with the sound card that I can do general MIDI with. So I do have an archive of that for anyone that's curious about how that sounds. That was a fun stream. It was a long one. It was a long one. So what do I think of the new Doom? Are you talking Doom Eternal? I'm looking forward to it. I plan on buying it on day one. I'm even thinking about going with the PC version of that one for a change. Lately, I've been just trying to do console stuff. Because I don't like dropping $60 on just a digital download on like Steam or something like that. At least if a lot of times what I do is, you know, I'll pay $60 for a physical console version of a game, and then when I'm done, I'll trade it in, or I'll sell it. I'll go get 30 or 40 bucks back for it. And I can't do that with Steam games. But I do want the best experience, and I'm actually looking into downgrading my Xbox One X. Actually in talks with a local pinball friend right now, who is he's gonna trade me his S model for my X, and then give me, you know, a good chunk of cash on top of that. Because I need the money. I'm trying to pay down some stuff. And I'm gonna have to go get some water after this. My throat has just started to get kind of sore. It's not a good sign. There's a secret down here. Nothing too crazy. In my opinion, is this a lazy cash grab? Or, does it have some saving graces? Well, I think the saving grace is that for certain owners, they now have a way of playing Doom on their console, which is good. But for other owners, like Xbox One owners, they could already play the Xbox Live Arcade versions. They were made backwards compatible, and you could still buy them in the store. The Microsoft store. So, for Xbox owners, I think it's a very lazy cash grab. But for Switch and PS4 owners, I think it's fine. Well, not entirely fine. They need to fix the sound issues and, you know, obviously fix the mandatory logon thing. Once they do that, then yeah, no, it'll be fine. Xbox One owners, I think, will still be shafted in a way. Because again, you know, the Xbox Live Arcade versions were still available. Not anymore, though. You can't buy them anymore. So, yep, the 360 versions got delisted. If you bought them, you can still play them. Yeah, we're gonna skip the bonus stage, too. We're just gonna, yeah, just fly past it. Yeah, the audio glitching is just, oh, bad. It's bad, man. Yeah, if you buy the physical version of Doom 3 BFG on for 360, you also get Doom 1 and 2. That is absolutely true, yeah. And I think that version of Doom 2 on BFG Edition might have No Rest for the Living as well. A lot of people know where Inner Demons don't like gaming on PC. It's that simple. And I don't blame them. I mean, when I sit down at my computer, I'm running like a 24-inch monitor. And I sit in a computer chair, which is... I did pay a lot of money for this chair, so it is comfortable, but... You know, I don't always want to be playing keyboard and mouse. I don't want my arms on a desk. I want to be slouched back on a couch looking at a 60-inch flat-screen TV. You know, that's why you have gamers that don't play on PC. They like their console experience. But yes, I do implore anyone, even mildly interested, to try PC gaming. Playing Doom is also, you know, like you said, it's very easy on PC, you know. Even a potato can run classic Doom, so. Desan says, will they fix the sound issues, though? That's a good question, man. That is a good question. Tiberius, how are you doing? So, let's see. I hope you aren't getting sick. Yeah, I hope I'm not getting sick either. I don't like being sick. I have been kind of like burning the candle at both ends this week, though, which, yeah, so. Speaking of Jag Doom music, a couple of guys, including one of the guys at Reboot, is working on trying to get music playing in the game itself as you play the game. And he's got a proof of concept video on his channel, and it's pretty incredible, actually. And he got it running very, very well. The game only took like a 1 FPS frame rate hit, so it still feels like it plays about the same, runs about the same. And so yeah, hopefully that's something that'll be finished up and be fully released for you know, flashcard owners and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that. If that happens, if there's a full release of it, you can bet yourself, I mean, you can bet your butts that I will be here streaming that right away. So Johnny is playing the game with me. Tiberius, finally someone who can pronounce your name. Carlos says the problem with BFG Edition is that the ports are somewhat censored. For example, the red cross on the first aid kits and Simpacks are replaced with a red white pill. Yeah, no, that's the same here, Carlos. I mean, the original 360 versions were the same way, so it's not really anything new. So it's not really something that I really have the find the need to complain about these days. It just is what it is. You get used to it. Okay, let me go grab some water. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. All right. Uh-oh. My cat's coming back. Yeah, this music. This is... Some tracks are like, they're relatively slow tracks, so like I don't mind them being even slower. But this one definitely sounds really weird, being as slow as it is. Not many other differences I can think of, Krusty. I think it's mainly just the cross thing. Yeah, I mean, the game definitely plays fine. I'm having no issues at all. Just running and gunning. Yeah, so no issues there. And thankfully, you can at least adjust your sensitivity. I'm still a little baffled that they don't allow you to change your controls. I'm not going to worry about a lot of the secrets and stuff like that. By the way, guys, we're just going to kind of just play casually. I'm not going to be secret hunting too much unless I feel like it's really going to help me, but I've almost got max health, max armor, so I don't really need the goodies. Yeah, Krusty, exactly. Some of the changes, like, you know, mainly like the purists are gonna really know, or not know, but you know, really notice it and care about it. I mean, other people will just be like, who cares? Even if they do notice a difference. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't really bother me that the medkits don't have crosses on them anymore. Does it support mouse and keyboard on Xbox One? I'm going to guess probably not, Arioka, because you can't even change your controls. So I highly doubt that mouse and keyboard will work. Not without one of those custom adapters. Yeah, Microsoft said that the mouse and keyboard support is supposed to be left up to the developers' hands. They're not going to mandate... Microsoft's not mandating like a keyboard and mouse requirement for every game, so... But I am guessing this game does not support it at all. Yeah, honestly, I think Switch owners will get the most value out of this, for sure. Because, you know, portable Doom, hell yeah. So, but yeah, for everybody else, you know, especially Xbox owners again, because Doom was already available. And now it's available again, but with less features. That's the kicker. Like, no online multiplayer. The menu system isn't even as slick as it was in the Xbox 360 versions. And more glitches and whatnot. So yeah, very disappointing for Xbox owners. Yeah, exactly, Dasan. Man. Yeah, thankfully they didn't lock you into some really stupid control scheme. Like, this control scheme is perfectly fine. I mean, this is exactly how I would have it set up anyway. So... But, you know, there might be people that like to move with the right analog stick. But you can't do that, because you can't change the controls. So you're stuck moving with the left analog stick. Like I said, you know... It's all about having options. Giving the player options. And I definitely would have liked to have tried just moving around with the D-pad. Because that's basically how I do it on PC. You know, I'm using the WSAD or arrow keys to move around in PC Doom. And then I use, you know, mouse to aim. So I definitely would have wanted to try D-pad movement, but I can't. Because they don't give me the option. No option at all. Very disappointing. It just feels messy for classic Doom. Yeah, I've never had an issue with dual analog controls for classic Doom. I mean, I've been playing like this for a long time. I mean, since the original Xbox port. So Doom 3 and the original Xbox, the Collector's Edition, had Doom and Doom 2 on it. So... And then I bought the Xbox 360 ports a few years later. You know, so that's not a problem for me. I don't have an issue with it. I can see some people maybe taking a while to get used to it, but... Yeah, no, I definitely don't have a problem with it. I'm not struggling with the controls or anything. Yeah, Modern Vintage Gamer did do that homebrew port of Doom and Doom 2 for Switch, totally. Yeah, so if you have a homebrew enabled Switch, you can grab those ports. I do have a Switch, Arioka. I'm trying to sell it, and not having much luck right now. Not having much luck at all. I pretty much never use it. You know, my modern consoles get the least amount of use, but the Switch especially, I just haven't touched it. And it's my second Switch, too. So I figured if I can sell it, I can, you know, try to put that money towards other bills that I have. Yeah, no luck so far, though. Which is kind of weird, because I feel like I am asking a pretty decent price, but I have to probably just find the right buyer that's actually interested in the stuff I have with it. I don't think they're going to be doing a Switch Pro anytime soon, Dasan. I think what people are reporting on is a potential sort of slight refresh. It's not going to have a lot of fanfare, you know, it's... You know, so consoles, over the course of their lives, they get revisions and refreshes. In a lot of cases, people don't even know about them. It's just a lot of under-the-hood stuff, consolidation of parts and things like that to streamline the manufacturing process, maybe bring down costs a little bit. That's what people are theorizing the next Switch SKU, or not Switch SKU, but the next Switch is going to be. That hasn't been announced yet. So, but we'll see. I don't know. You never know. Showing us your sensitivity setting for analog. Yeah, no, that's fine. I can pull that up. I don't think it's perfect, but I do think the default sensitivity is too high. I had to lower it. So I have it about, actually it's about halfway. I could actually bring it down a little bit farther. But yeah, I do recommend bringing it down though. Oh, speaking of which, let's go ahead and save it. Let's go ahead and use our chain gun too. We have plenty of ammo now. Is that frame rate chop? Is the frame rate getting choppy when lots of stuff is happening? I don't know, I'll have to watch that back on the archive later. If that's true, that's something. Trying to relive the PlayStation era, apparently. Arioka, I would be really surprised if there was not a homebrew port of Doom on Wii. I assume there is. Pretty much anything that supports homebrew has a version of Doom on it. I mean, geez, even the Tapwave Zodiac back in the day had a homebrew port of Doom. That was actually better than the officially released port. Yeah, I would be really surprised if the Wii didn't have a port. And Lacto says there is a homebrew port of Doom on Wii. Yep, I figured. Makes sense. Yeah, so apparently this studio called Nerve did the ports of these. Not Doom 3, I think someone else did the port of Doom 3. But Nerve did the ports of Doom 1 and 2, and, you know, honestly, I think they did kind of sort of a rush job with it overall. Like, it doesn't feel as polished as it should. Like, okay, I get it if you want to just, like, sort of keep the traditional classic MS-DOS Doom frame rate, so, you know, 35 frames a second. Or if it looks weird, you know, cap it at 30, whatever you have to do to make it consistent. But, you know, I expect it to be rock solid, though. And I don't expect there to be sound issues or glitches. And I especially don't expect Doom to have frame rate drops of any kind. So, I don't know what the hell those guys were thinking. Hey, Friggle D, welcome back. Arioka, I have not played the PSP homebrew port. I actually do have a hacked PSP now, but I'm gonna have to try to install it on it and see how it works. I need to research the PSP homebrew though. I actually just bought the PSP off someone on Atari Age. It was already hacked. And I haven't tried copying anything to it yet. I need to, because it's got emulators and stuff like that. I need to load it up with ROMs and so forth. But then obviously having a portable version of Doom that isn't going to cost me money. Could be cool. And I would like to just see how it runs, honestly. Yeah, apparently this is running on the, you know, they ported Doom to the Unity engine. Not really sure why that was necessary, to be honest with you, but I'm also not a game developer, so or a programmer, or it seems like it might not have been the best choice, though. I can at least say that. Yeah, Doom Game Boy Advance Arioka was really, really cool for the time. You know, it's kind of like the Jaguar port, where it's a little tough to go back to it these days. I mean, it's still perfectly playable. It's still a solid little version of the game, but you know, the frame rate does get pretty sluggish at times, and you know, you got to warm up to it these days. But back in the day, seeing it on an actual GBA was really awesome. I have not played Classic Complete for PS3. I want to buy that. Apparently, you can still get it. That one hasn't been delisted yet. Yeah, I definitely want to pick that up sometime, and I'm sure we'll eventually mess around with it here on YouTube. Yeah, from what I understand, Classic Complete also has Final Doom on it, which is really cool. I think it's the only way you can play Final Doom on a home system, like the full legit PC Final Doom. Not that hodgepodge of levels from the PS1 Final Doom. Come here, Patchouli. You want to say hi to everybody? Let's see if we can get the cat up here. Come on, Patchouli. Patchouli, come on. Come on. There she is. Here, come here. Come over here. There you go. 360 versions delisted because they probably didn't want them competing with the Xbox One versions of these games. That's my guess anyway. Because, you know, you could still buy them and then just play them on your Xbox One. Bless the stream, Patchouli. She's bumping into my mic now. Come here. Come here. Come here. There you go. Yeah, I don't have her bed out here. So I just pointed the webcam down onto my my desk. Okay, don't lay on my keyboard. Doom guy sure looks different. Hey, Boston Burf, what's going on, dude? Yeah, this is Patchouli. You can call her Patchy for short if you want. Yeah, that's something that sort of has caught on over the years. I never called her Patchy, but people did on stream, and so now we call her Patchy. Alright, let's go back to playing. You want to play Patchouli? Oh, she doesn't like that. You don't like that. Here, come here. Come here. Come here. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Alright, let's go play some more games. Alright. I wonder how they're going to handle the ending screens for each episode. Man, I just love how many enemies are in Doom. Look at this. Look at this. This is the very first room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, at least 16 enemies. It's just so fun. And you cut through them like butter, too. Yeah, so it's kind of cool we're able to stream this today, though. You know, I haven't been trying to do Saturday streams lately, just because I haven't really known what to do. And some of the stuff I've been streaming in general, not even on Saturdays, but on Thursdays, has just been, you know, it's just, stuff has conveniently just arrived, like, you know, so like a couple weeks ago, Blazing Chrome came out, so I bought that and did a stream of it this past Thursday. You know, a little ways before that, there was the Castlevania collection and Contra collection, and, you know, some of those things just conveniently showed up, like, when it was time to stream. And this was one of those examples, too, where this just conveniently showed up today. So I was like, I don't really want to buy this, but I know people will want to see it on YouTube, so let's just take one for the team. So here we are now. Yeah, I hope Digital Foundry does a video on these, because, you know, they could do much better analysis than I can with all their tools and stuff like that. I will definitely watch that video if they make one. Yeah, they're actually one of my favorite channels. I don't watch everything, because I'm not necessarily interested in everything. Like, you know, some of the modern game benchmarks I don't really care about, but, you know, when it comes to the retro stuff in particular, or new games that are retro inspired, like they did a video on Blazing Chrome, that was really interesting. But if they do like an analysis video for Doom, yeah, I'll just watch that right away. I am really curious, actually, what this frame rate actually is, and if it actually remains, you know, 100% stable, or if it doesn't. Yeah, no, exactly. I think the price is fine. You know, you pay $10, you get Doom and Doom 2 for that price. It's just that I do expect a more polished port, though. because there are older versions. There were older versions that were more polished, and so like I'm always on the mindset that like, you know, things should be improved on over time. If you're going to re-release stuff, make it better, you know, or at least have it be as good as the previous versions. If they're not as good as the previous versions, then I think it's kind of a rip-off, you know? And you're regressing. That's not good. That's not good at all. Video Doom music is better. That is a pretty good soundtrack. It is a pretty good soundtrack. I'll give you that. I still have nightmares of playing that game on YouTube a couple years ago. I think it has scarred me for life, guys. Going through that whole game with the extra large screen setting. Yeah, that's the thing. The port could have been better, and it should have been better. I mean... Sam, yeah, these were just released, like, today, literally. Today or yesterday. Yeah, Mark, it doesn't seem to be stable. It feels like... in one of the previous levels, we went to a really big room with a lot of enemies, and it definitely felt like the frame rate dropped a little bit. It's subtle, you know, it's not like it's not going down to 5 frames a second or anything like that, but it's enough for me to notice. And take notice. I seem to enjoy 3DO Doom more than Saturn? No. Yeah, Boston Burf. I think it's been like 2 years now since I did 3DO Doom. At least a year and a half. But it might actually be close to 2 years now. It's crazy. The DRM is annoying, but Bethesda has announced that they're going to patch that out. They claim it was an accident. They say it always meant to be optional. So it's not supposed to be DRM, basically. And once they fix it, it will no longer be DRM. What Bethesda has said, you can see it on their Twitter page, is that they just wanted to give users of BethesdaNet accounts a way of logging in and tracking their game time. And I guess, like, they can get awards added to their account or whatever from playing a game. And that's it. It was supposed to be optional, apparently. But somebody done screwed up and made it mandatory. Doom 3 does have Doom 2, No Rest for the Living? Really? That's cool. Hey, I didn't actually die. That was cool. A 3DO version of Doom is the worst in my opinion. That's the hardest to play because not only is the frame rate bad, but the controls are very laggy at the same time. It's hard to stomach from start to finish. Yeah, you can make the screen size super small, but no one wants to look at a postage stamp sized screen when they play Doom. Super Nintendo Doom at least takes up a good portion of your screen. I think you can tolerate its low frame rate, and its controls don't feel as sluggish as the 3DO Doom's controls. And Super Nintendo Doom has some very insane, like, auto-aim. Like, which helps you sort of deal with, like, its control shortcomings. Hey, Angelic, welcome back. Oh, yeah. Todd Hollinshead, huh? They couldn't even stop the music playing in the background. Now we have two tracks playing at the same time. It's so sloppy, dude. I like the credits here, though. That is actually pretty cool. Yeah, exactly, Boston Bear. If you want to play Doom on a tiny screen, tape a Game Boy Advance to your TV. That would be funny, actually. Come here, Patchouli. Come on, Patchouli. Hey, Patchouli. You coming on up? Come on, Patchouli. Come on up. Come on, Patchouli. Come on, Patchouli. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on up. Come on up. There you go. There's two tracks playing. What? My cat, man. I swear. Yeah, no, 32X port's fine. It gets it gets overly bashed, I think, undeservedly. It's obviously not the best way to play the game. I mean, I think anyone with two eyes can figure that one out. But if you're a kid with the console in 1994, a 32X in 1994, and you play that version of the game, you probably, chances are, you loved it. You know, if you didn't have a PC. It served a purpose, you know? I think it was rushed. It definitely needed more levels. At least as many levels as the Jaguar version. And, yeah, no, I think it's fine. It's still fun to go back to. I think it actually plays better than the Jaguar version. Like, the controls are snappier in the 32X game. Frame rate, might even be a tad higher. So, it's fun. I like going back to it. Lovelorn Nick started with Doom on SNES and loved it. Didn't realize how bad it was till years later. Yeah, same here. I mean, Super Nintendo Doom was my first version. So yeah, I have a soft spot for it. Like, yeah, no, I have a major soft spot for it. Like, I mean, I even I've got a nice box copy of it too, you know? So, yeah, it was my introduction to Doom. So, you know, I've like I said, I've got a soft spot for it. But it's it has not, has not aged nicely. And that's it, you know? Actually, this box isn't quite as nice as I remember, but whatever. Oh, speaking of 32X Doom, guys, I've got the Japanese version. Thought that would be fun to show off. The Super 32X version. This was an impulse buy last year. And it's exactly the same as the North American one. There is no Japanese text in game at all. It's probably the exact same ROM too. But it wasn't even really expensive. It was probably like $30 or something for the Japanese one. The US version is still pretty cheap. You can get card only for like $5 or $10. Probably less. This is actually one of the more common games on 32X for people that are curious. If you ever get a 32X, like you pretty much have to have Doom. It's one of the most common games on the system. I do not Arioka, but it's been confirmed that it is actually not better at all. It was just a rumor. That's actually, I believe, in Digital Foundry's Doom video. Okay, so we're gonna actually we're gonna bounce around. So we'll go to Doom 2 now and show that off. We'll play through about 7 or 8 levels of this, and then if I'm still feeling up for streaming, we'll switch back over to Doom and go through episode 2 and. Hey Chris, yeah, occasionally if I flip my schedule by accident like I did today, occasionally I will do day streams. My Thursday streams are always at the same time, but sometimes the Saturday streams, if I do them, yeah, sometimes I'll end up doing them during the day. Oh, look it! So it actually found the stats or my logon information from the previous game, which is good. So cool. I didn't have to actually type in my login again. Doom 64, it's okay. I get why some people like it a lot, but I don't really care for it that much, to be honest. I mean, it's. I don't think it flows anywhere near as well as the classic Doom or Doom 2, and very claustrophobic. Way too many Hell Knights and Barons thrown throughout the game. Yeah. Okay. Let's start a little bit of Doom 2. Oh, you get the master levels with it, huh? That's actually really interesting, because I am pretty sure with the Xbox Live Arcade version, you don't get master levels. Hey, no reason! Yeah, we're actually playing the Xbox One version, but from what I understand, from what I'm told, all 3 versions are pretty much identical. So, yeah, that's really cool, man. I didn't know that master levels were included, so that's actually a nice bonus. This music is so bad. Yeah, all the annoying booby traps, that's another thing I don't like about Doom 64. Absolutely. Totally unnecessary stuff. So, No Reason popped in. We're gonna actually play his Doom mod here sometime soon. I'm just trying to brace myself for it. I'm trying not to have a heart attack live on stream when I play it, because it's one of the hardest things I've played in recent times. But that's no fun. Lowering the difficulty. Lowering the difficulty is for chumps. I had actually thought about doing that today, instead of doing this, but I caved in and decided to do this. I figured there would be a lot more interest for this. I had also thought about doing some shmups on PC today, but again, this came out. I figured this would have been a lot better. More people would have been interested. Have I beaten... I haven't beaten Doom War Doom 2 Nightmare, no. That's something I've wanted to do. And once I successfully do it, I would like to do a YouTube stream of that. Because that's very difficult. Like, that's... you've got to put some serious effort into memorizing the stages. And playing strategically, you really have to have a very specific strategy in mind when you're playing Nightmare. You cannot play the game normally. Enemies just respawn so quickly. It is better for my blood pressure, absolutely. Yeah. Let's just say when I play No Reason's WAD, my blood pressure does not do so well. Yeah, that's... I'm pretty sure, like, it just dropped some frames there. Just briefly. It's so weird, man. Like... having a modern version of the game with frame rate dips like we're on the original PlayStation or something. It's pretty ridiculous. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. Like, I'm not trying to be like, you know, I'm not trying to exaggerate things like a lot of people do. A lot of people will see like really tiny issues and, you know, make huge deals out of them. But the thing is, with Doom, like, there was already a great version of the game on the Xbox One. And I think Ars Technica made an article about it, where they said, like, get the same game with less features on the same platform. It was something like that. And that's exactly what it is. Like, they take away the old version, or keep new customers from being able to buy it, and then introduce the same game again in a different version that actually performs worse and has less options and features. Like, it's just a slap to the face, you know? It's very lazy is what it is. And it's so nice playing with the super shotgun, though. It's one of my favorite weapons in any FPS game. It's just so smooth. Yeah, Jay, I mentioned it earlier, but Bethesda has tweeted out on Twitter that that was an accident, apparently, and they're going to be patching that out. It's supposed to be optional for people that do have Bethesda.net accounts. It's not supposed to be mandatory. So they have openly said now that that's going to be fixed. But yeah, that really annoyed me too. And what was even funnier about it is that once you brought up the Bethesda Net logon screen, you couldn't even back out of that. Like, you couldn't just go back to the title screen. It's like, once that menu popped up, you had to log in or force close out your program or your game. Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing, like it's an accident, or it's optional now that there's been some outrage over it. And you know, the outrage is, I think, deserved. It's warranted. Always get this secret. You get 200 armor. You should get most of your health back. Yeah, and honestly, no reason. I had no idea, like, Bethesda even used those accounts on consoles. I thought that was just strictly a PC thing. So that was also what surprised me. I was like, man, they're bringing that over to consoles now. I mean, as far as the actual gameplay itself, it plays fine. I'm not having any issues with the controls or anything, which is good, so... Needs a strafe run, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately... Oh, actually, you can! Holy crap. Wait, no. Trying to see if there's a way to, like, manually strafe, like, on top of the normal sidestepping, so you can strafe run. It doesn't look like you're gonna be able to get strafe run 40s or 50s on here, then. Sorry, SR50 is what I meant. Chain gun with randomized pitches. Yeah, I kind of hear it. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me, but it is, yeah, it is weird now that you mention it. I'm pretty sure the original computer game doesn't do that. Was that issue only with Doom, or did it happen with Doom 2 as well? What issue are you talking about, Jay? Now that you mention it, we'll hear it forever. And Zanctum says, hey, hell yeah, shmups on PC, please. And Jay goes, this almost looks as good as the Saturn version. Oh, man. The waste tunnels. Yeah, so what I'll do is I think I'll get to the first quote-unquote boss level, which should be dead simple. And then after we do that, we'll switch back over to just Doom, or Ultimate Doom. Well, it's GameSack. I mean, eh. I haven't exactly agreed with a lot of their opinions, if you know what I mean. But they're the kind of channel where, like, they do so much content, like, they can't actually play the games heavily that they talk about. Like... play Quake on the hardest difficulty mode, and then actually go through the whole game, preferably in one sitting, then tell me it's one of the finest games in the system. No. It's not. So, but yeah, no, I do actually follow GameStack. I am subscribed to their channel. I have been for a long time. Yeah, Saturn Quake is very much a mess. It's, I think a lot of people put it up on a pedestal because it's very technically impressive. Sort of. You know. Enemies looking like they're freaking puppets on strings aside. Yes, it's technically impressive. But it's just not fun to play. So I don't really care how technically impressive a game is. If it's not fun to play, and if your engine makes the game more frustrating to play as well, that's a big problem. Like, I don't know if it was you that mentioned it, Dasan, but someone commented on one of my recent videos and said, like, they went through Saturn Doom, and they noticed that only, like, 50% of their bullets would actually connect with enemies. Like, that's a huge problem. That's a really big problem. And I've got my live stream archive of that from last year, and that was such a frustrating playthrough. I was getting really flustered by the end of that because half my bullets would just go right through the enemies. Here's our first Hell Knight. Here's our blue key. Yeah, Saturn Quake's one of those games where, you know, maybe, like, I don't think GameSack in particular are, like, I don't think they're, like, either of those guys are PC gamers, really, at all. So, like, I wonder if they've even played PC Quake? Or if they have, like, how good they are at the game, or how good they are at FPSs in general. So things like that also play a part in, like, how you perceive things. Like, if you don't know any better, then Saturn Quake might really seem like the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if you do know better, then, you know, it's not a good game at all, really. If you know better. So that's one of the things that's also tricky about, you know, opinions of games. Opinions of retro games as well. Experience goes a long way to sort of like getting a certain perspective, having a certain understanding. So for someone like Joe at GameSack, you know, based on his experience, Saturn Quake might seem like a fine game. But to someone like me, that kind of lived off of Quake for a long time, it is not a good version of the game. Yeah, it's gonna actually be difficult to get that plasma gun. The best Saturn games were Japanese exclusive. Some of them. A lot of those got released in North America, though. North America has a good lineup. Often doesn't get the credit it deserves. I think it's just the fact that there are so many games that were left in Japan, because... let's face it, the Saturn kind of bombed in North America. It did not do well at all compared to the competition. Yeah, no, lots of great exclusives in Japan. Not even necessarily exclusives, just lots of great games in Japan that weren't brought over here. Yeah, importing Saturn games was one of my favorite things back in the day. Like, when I discovered that, importing my first game, it just opened up a whole can of worms. But it's not like I was disappointed with the US lineup at all. Like, I really enjoyed the games that were on it. You know, the Saturn was my primary console back then. So, you know, I did buy a lot of games for it. North American releases. You've never seen a Saturn in person? Oh, man. Yeah, NIST. I mean, Sega was a very disjointed company back then. I mean, look, Ma, I can wall run. Come on. Oh, don't kill me. Yeah, no, Dasan, Saturn is a phenomenal shmup system. It might actually have, out of all game consoles out there, the Saturn might actually be the best shmup system. When you factor in Japanese releases. You've been waiting for the original Dooms on Switch for the longest time. Well, there you go. Now you've got it. Dasan picked PS1 back in the day, and glad you did. No, you should definitely try Saturn games, dude. You'll like them. I mean, especially with you being in the shmups. The Saturn is definitely much more of an arcade system than the PlayStation was. So for arcade game fans, it's a must-own. Saturn is one of, like, the best systems if you're an arcade gamer. Period. It's just, like, if you're an arcade gamer, Saturn is one of the best, even still. And while the system did get some heavy hitters back in the day, you know, it got Resident Evil, it got Tomb Raider, you know, and it's got some of its own RPGs and stuff like that Sega made, you know, stuff like Dragon Force and Shining Force 3 and whatever. It's definitely an arcade system first and foremost, though. And its library really shows. So many fighting games, so many shoot 'em ups. You know, it's got some light gun games and stuff like that. Lots of driving games, lots of arcade driving games. Got our first backpack, finally. Saturn Resident Evil was pretty good. The characters look a little bit different because of how the Saturn, you know, renders polygons. But it's solid. Yeah, oh, that audio is terrible. Oh, man. That is just bad. That's legitimately bad. There's just no debating that. That was really, really horrible. Oh, Bethesda. Carlos's favorite Saturn game is Tomb Raider. Interesting. The Sanctum says Radiant Silvergun is one great shmup on the Saturn. E11 is curious about Sega Rally. You've seen nothing but praise for it. Yeah, no, Sega Rally is great. It's a fantastic game. You know, it's an arcade-style racer, though. It's very, very short, but it requires a lot of practice, a lot of memorization. Yeah, I mean, Nick, I seriously just wouldn't even bother with them then, to be honest. Yeah, no, I mean, the music is... Not just the music, but, like, the sound effects. It's so glitchy. It's just not good. Yeah, I mean, anyone that does defend it, though, is just obviously... They're not really worth dealing with. Okay, so this is... dead simple. One thing I actually do like is that the messages up top are actually high res now. So they're a lot easier to read. That is pretty cool. I just now noticed that. Oh man, listen to that. This is 2019 and the Samsung fridge has a better port of this game. Yeah, I mean that's why this is ultimately somewhat disappointing. Yeah, I mean it's the digital age though. Like they might fix it for all we know. We'll see. I'll if I see anything about like patches, I'll try them out and then I'll post something on my community tab on YouTube to let you guys know what's up with these versions of the game. Yeah, that's the big thing is like these aren't anywhere near as good as they should be. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. We'll actually go ahead and do tricks and traps as well. And then I'll switch back to Ultimate Doom. And actually, you know what I can do first is I can switch back to the Xbox Live Arcade versions. Just so you guys don't have to wait around till the end of the stream to sort of see the differences. Well, Nick, I mean, there's a lot of people also complaining about these ports. I've only seen complaints. I haven't seen praise, so... And Bethesda has already acknowledged, you know, some of its faults, so... Hug the Pain Elemental. If you get right in front of the Pain Elemental, he can't actually shoot out any lost souls. You know, there are a lot of little tricks to Doom like that I didn't learn about until just a couple years ago. Oh no, Dazan! I've sold you on it! No! I was intending it to have the opposite effect. Just sheer disgust. No, it's okay, man. Oh, that plasma audio just really grinds my gears. Alright, let's go ahead and save it, just in case something bad happens here. Because, tricks and traps, there are a couple of really nasty rooms. Downloaded it today, first thing you noticed was the awful music. It's just all wrong, yeah. The Xbox Live Arcade version doesn't have all these sound effect glitches, though. Like, that's by far the most jarring thing. Yes, Chris, Doom 2 is an awesome game. Yeah, Doom 2 is great. Doom 2 is actually my first PC Doom. So it's sort of the one I have, like, the biggest soft spot for. Super Nintendo was my first Doom in general, but Doom 2 PC was my first PC Doom. Saturn Doom? We've already talked about Saturn Doom a little bit today. It's been mentioned multiple times on the stream. I have multiple full playthroughs of that game too on my channel. For anyone that's stumbling upon this stream well into the future for some odd reason, yeah, I've got videos of just about every version of Doom on my channel. Full playthroughs and all. Is this a bad port of BFG edition? It's not a port of the BFG edition versions. Apparently it's a new port. But yeah, it's inferior. Definitely. It's got a lot of audio glitches. The music runs really slow. We even had a couple of frame rate dips, which was really odd. We're on an Xbox One X, too, so it's not like, you know, it's not like the system can't handle it. Yeah, some of the instrumentation is bad. I was noticing on the very first level of this game that it kept playing this like one single note and it would just hang on it. It's not supposed to do that. It's very jarring. Chris played this game for the first time on a PC at a university. Or at your dad's work. Cool, man. I played Wolfenstein 3D like that. My dad would sometimes take me into his office on Saturdays because he'd have to go in and do some overtime. And that was back in the day where organizations didn't really have, like, you know, with MS-DOS, they didn't really have ways of, like, tracking your computer usage or knowing what was installed on the systems, you know? So people would just install whatever the hell they want. And, so, like, my dad would take me into his office and he'd sit me down on, like, one of his coworkers' computers, fire up Wolfenstein 3D or something like that, and then let me play while he was doing his work. Just pretend the music's meant to be more groovy and slow. The music is definitely slower in the Xbox Live Arcade versions, but it's not as slow as it is in this version. Slaughtery. Alright, a couple more rooms here and then we're done with the level. go ahead and save it again. Yeah, I died to that room so many times back in the day. It is definitely a hit scan death trap. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's horrible or anything like that. You know, for the price, for a lot of people, it's gonna be fine. For people like me that already own the game in multiple different forms, it's redundant, you know? And there's no point in owning it. And, you know, and like we mentioned earlier, they could also fix some of these issues that it has. So, you know, we'll see if that happens too. I think Switch users will definitely get the most value out of the game, though. You know, being able to play it in portable mode. This is the Xbox One version of the game that just released. It's also on PS4 and Switch. It literally just came out like earlier today or yesterday or something like that. Bethesda just made a surprise announcement and then then it was available to buy. Wow, I'm completely out of cells. That's fantastic. That is actually really not good. Let's go back. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, it's to keep the game available on a new platform and, you know, continue to give people a way to play it, especially new players, younger people that might not be familiar with it, which is fine, but they should be treating the property with a lot more respect than they are. Like, this should have been pretty much a flawless port, because we've gotten much better ports in the past, so the fact it ended up the way it did is just kind of embarrassing, honestly, if you ask me. I think it's still fine, but it should have been better than just fine. I mean, the Xbox Live Arcade versions are better. And those are, you know, 12, 13 years old. PS3 version is better. How old is that one now? Probably 10 years? Yeah, so it's just, you know, it's a step backwards, which is disappointing. But, I mean, it is still a way to play Doom, and I think it's still fine, but it should have been better than that. I think that's the issue that people have with it. Ow! I did that completely by accident. How much better is it than the PS3 version? It's not better at all, as far as I can tell. PS3 version is definitely a good way to play the game, and you get a lot of content too. You get Final Doom with it. Yeah, so we'll see if there's going to be a patch. Bethesda's already said that they are definitely going to be patching out the Bethesda Net logon requirement. They actually tweeted that earlier today. Alright, I have to basically reset that. Oh, you're talking the PS3. Yeah, no, I'm not talking PS3 BFG edition. I haven't played that. I'm talking Doom Classic Complete on PS3. You get it on PSN. It's like a $10 or $15 download. That's got Ultimate Doom, Doom 2, and Final Doom on it. No, I don't think they're going to, Dasan. If they wanted to delist it, they probably would have done it already. And I just realized I didn't even have to go there either. I had the yellow key already. I think the reason they delisted the Xbox 360 ones is because, you know, those are backwards compatible on Xbox One. And since you could already get them on Xbox One, they probably didn't want two of the same game available in the Xbox One store. Kind of makes sense, but I think, honestly, they should have just left them. BFG Edition has all three Dooms. It has Final Doom? I can't remember. Patchy always makes things better. She's on her cat bed at the end of the room. Yeah, I was actually very surprised that Master Levels were on here. So yeah, no, I could definitely give them credit for that, for sure. Although the Master Levels actually were also in the original Xbox Doom 3 expansion, Resurrection of Evil. So as a bonus, you could play the Master Levels through that. So this actually technically isn't the first legit port of Master Levels to console. But it's great having another option. I told myself a little while ago I was going to go back and play regular Doom, but I, still with Doom 2. Alright, we'll finish this level, and then I'll switch. Please remind me to switch, guys, because apparently my brain's not working right now. Final Doom on PS1 is not Final Doom, though. It only has a very small, select handful of levels from actual Final Doom. It is not a replacement for the PC Final Doom. Or the other console ports. Not even close. Like, half the levels from Final Doom on PlayStation are actually master levels for Doom 2 stages. And then another subset of levels are Final Doom episodes from a mix between TNT Evolution and Plutonia Experiment. And that's it. So Final Doom on PC was 2 full 32 level episodes. TNT Evolution, 32 maps, and then Plutonia Experiment, 32 maps. PlayStation Final Doom is barely, like, scratches that. Oh yeah, Office. No, I'll definitely save before switching. Definitely. Man, I have to crank up the AC again. It's getting hot outside now. I can feel it. But in regards to the console ports of Final Doom, like the one on Doom Classic Complete on PS3, it's the PC version of the game, basically. You get all the maps, just like you would if you were playing the PC version. That's what I was trying to say. I'm not saying, like, playing the console versions is bad. It's just needed to clarify that the PlayStation Final Doom is not the same thing as the Final Doom you get on Doom Classic Complete or BFG Edition, if Final Doom is actually in that. I thought it was just Doom and Doom 2 on BFG Edition, but I'll have to fire that up and double check. Hey, Brandon. Yes, so much carnage. The beautiful carnage. Bethesda getting lazy and rushing yet again. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, no reason likes Final Doom. I'm a little mixed on it. I went through TNT like a year and a half ago, and I wasn't really that impressed with it. I used to like it a lot back in the day, but yeah, I didn't really enjoy it all that much in my last playthrough. Plutonia I went through as well, and it was kind of trollish. Definitely not kind, not very nice to the player. But that was a while ago too, and I've gotten a lot better at Doom, so I feel like I would appreciate it more now if I went back to it. But I still highly recommend playing them if you're a big fan of Doom, because you might end up just really liking them a lot. Both WADs, Plutonia and TNT, are kind of divisive. You get a lot of people that like them, but you also have a lot of people that don't care for them for one reason or another. But I do recommend playing them and just sort of forming your own opinion. Plutonia in particular seems to be well regarded among expert players. You know, because it is the most challenging campaign of all the classic Doom campaign, like official campaigns. Yeah, so, Doom 64, apparently it might be getting a console port. I don't know how or who's doing it, but I guess we'll find out soon. If you want to consider Doom 64 audio to even be music, but yeah. Honestly, it might make its music, its quote-unquote music, better than it already is. Yeah, a slower ambient score. Yes, I mean, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not having any problems just playing the game. Like, it controls fine. I wish there was a faster way to cycle through your weapons. That's always been one of my complaints with these ports. It'd be cool if you could hold down, like, the back key and then press, like, one of the face buttons to just instant switch to a specific weapon. You can actually do that in 32X Doom with the 6-button controller. You can hold down the mode key, and then that makes your 6 face buttons weapon slots 1 through 6. So I can hold down mode and press a B, and it switches to the rocket launcher, which is awesome. But having to manually switch from one weapon to the next, one by one, it takes forever. And if you're trying to switch on the fly, it's too cumbersome to be useful. Yeah, like a quick select menu, something like that, or just, you know, just have some more like an extra advanced control option that allows you to do something like that. Like again, hold down like the back key. The back key actually does nothing. Like I'm pressing it, it's doing nothing. So if I could hold that down and then press like A and have it switch to my plasma gun, or have like the D-pad doesn't do anything. Maybe have like specific weapons bound to specific you know, directions on the D-pad. So up is shotgun, down is rocket launcher, you know, things like that. You know, make use of the controls. Alright, so this is the original Xbox Live Arcade Ultimate Doom. So I'll play this just for a couple minutes so you guys can see like the basic differences. Why would some kid play this when they could play Fortnite? It's true. But I mean, I'm sure some kids out there, like, just, they pick up some old games just out of curiosity because maybe they're cheap or they actually look fun. But yeah, the average kid out there is not playing classic Doom. Yeah, so this is the old version, and I'm already seeing the graphics. The music is totally different. So this is an old port, but this was the one that was previously available on Xbox One via Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. And as you can see, it's 4x3. It's not stretched out to the sides. And I also find the lighting seems like it's a little bit better in this one. The updated one feels everything feels a little bit brighter. Shadows aren't quite as dark in the updated version. So this right here is why Xbox owners are kind of annoyed with this newly released version, because this was already available, and it's fine, you know. It's actually got the exact same control setup too. Yep, the silly pillboxes. Hey, Trevor student. Yeah, the music is still slow too. Yeah, so, you changed the screen size too, look at that. Interesting. Controls. Yeah, and you can't change your controls in this one either. Oh, I can't even do Xbox Live because I don't have Xbox Live Gold. It would have been, I bet you, like, because of this updated version, there are people online playing this old one right now. It would have been funny to hop in and play a game. But yeah. Although it didn't let me look at leaderboards, which was weird. Like, you should still be able to look at leaderboards even without Xbox Live Gold, so that was weird. Hey, look, Zopmeister's playing Dark Souls Remastered right now. That's cool, man. Okay, back to Classic Doom. Is there any difference between the old and new versions? Yes, Brandon, there are. Yeah. Hey, James is back. Oh, that's right. We beat episode 1, so we can play episode 2 now. Yeah, this is... The frame rate doesn't seem as smooth. The movement is faster in this, though. The movement is a good bit faster than it was in the other version, even when I was running. I wouldn't say they're bad versions. I mean, if you've got no other way to play Doom, I mean, they'll be fine. They're just not as good as they should be. Yeah, the frame rate is definitely less consistent in this version. That is for sure. Now that I've gone back and tried the Xbox Live Arcade versions again, it's a lot easier to see. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Added lag with back compat? No, I wasn't feeling lag. Look at how bright this room is here. This is supposed to be a really dark room, by the way. Yeah, the way the lighting is handled in this is definitely not as good as the live arcade versions. Like, these shadows in the background would be much, much darker. Everyone's freaking out about the music. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. It's funny. Yeah, no, it is no reason. It's definitely like that. It's not great. This is Doom. Thick, slow, bright edition. Yeah. Oh, man. Be playing out of a Mancubus's rear bumper. Oh, don't have the key yet. Yes, the live arcade versions are better. Yeah, in my opinion. Definitely. Yeah, and the texture filtering in this, like on the ceilings, feels like... It feels almost too clean compared to, like, the wall textures. It's really weird. Yeah, be able to play this with a 3DO soundtrack. That would be cool. That would definitely be a nice little bonus. Yeah, no, this is the Xbox One version. From what I understand, they're all pretty much identical. So what you see here is pretty much, you know, how it would be on the Switch as well. Like, look at... That just doesn't look right at all, man. He's so chunky. I don't know, it's just... Yeah, it just doesn't look right. Man, I need my interpolated frame rate. Like I get with GZ Doom. Alright, we can exit now. I've got everything. There are some secrets and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, and the need to kill these guys first. Yeah, so it also looks like they do a really poor job of emulating the Spectre graphical effect. Like you can sort of look at that. It's... yeah, it's not great. It looks weird. I did Arioka, yeah. I haven't installed it yet, though. M2. I'm actually would be legitimately curious to know if any of those guys actually play any first-person shooters. I know the genre is not the most popular in Japan, especially not back in the day, when the genre was much newer. Arthur, that's normal. They use the map music for some levels. Wait, did they normally use it for this level though? This might... now I have to double check. I'm actually doubting myself now. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, this level always had the map music? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was gonna go double check the video, but... now that I was really thinking about it, I was like, okay, I can't actually remember. Does it actually use the map music? Yeah, no, yeah, definitely one of the levels in the game does use the map music. It's this one. You cannot Arioka, no. Yeah, this has very, very few options. I mean, this is it. Apparently we have a cheats menu too. Yeah, so I mean, this is pretty much it. I will say having a cheats menu is actually good because in the original Xbox version, not the Xbox Live Arcade version, but the one bundled with Doom 3 on original Xbox, You do a shortcut command, and it's way too easy to accidentally activate it. So you'll just be running around like circle strafing and firing, and you'll enable God mode or IDKFA or something like that. It's pretty bad. It kind of made that version unplayable for me after a while. If you're not very good at Doom and you play really slow, then you're not going to have that problem. But if you're like me and you're pressing like 5 different keys at once, you're going to accidentally be triggering cheat codes in that version of the game, which is not good. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, alrighty, guys. I think I would like to keep playing, but I mentioned it earlier. I've been sort of like burning the candle at both ends this week, and I'm really starting to feel it now. So what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and just end the stream. I mean, you guys have seen me play through Doom a ridiculous amount of time, so I don't really need to go through all these games from start to finish. Kind of the point of this was to demo this and try it out, see if it's worth, you know, if I would recommend it to people. I would say if you've got older versions of Doom, I'd say it's not worth picking up unless you just absolutely have to be able to play Doom on like your HD TV on your Xbox One or PS4. Then fine, you know, they're $5 a piece. It's not going to break the bank. But if you're like me and you've already got versions of Doom, it's not really worth it. It's you know, it's not as good as it should be, you know, and we might get patches, they might smooth things out, and you know, they might make it better. And so, you know, it's only been out for a day or two now as of doing this stream, so we'll see what happens with that. Now, if you're a Switch owner, I think it's worth it if you own a Switch, because then you can play Doom in portable mode, which is fantastic. You know, you can do that technically already if you have a hacked Switch console, but most people out there probably don't, and so this is a great alternative, and you can use, you know, you can use it in portable mode, and it plays fine. I have no issues with the controls. I think it's actually quite responsive. The frame rate does seem a little bit low though, which is kind of annoying, and you know, a lot of you guys were noticing the brightness issues, especially after we went back to the Xbox Live Arcade version. And then the sound glitching, like the sound glitching with the plasma gun in particular, just absolutely awful. Or the chainsaw. So you know, this does have like the randomized pitches. but it's when you're attacking enemies with it, and a lot of sound effects start triggering at once. It just starts to get all glitchy, and that's a little irritating. So, but yeah, overall, I mean, if you've already got a bunch of versions of Doom, I don't think it's worth buying this. Xbox owners in particular, I mean, you probably already own the Xbox Live Arcade versions, and they're backwards compatible on Xbox One. So if you've got those already, don't buy this. You really have no need for it. This technically has less options. There's no online play. It's just local multiplayer. And, you know, so you're going to be getting a lesser package in the end. Speaking of local multiplayer, yeah, it's not going to let me play without a second player in here, but yeah, so you can do local multiplayer at least, but yeah, can't say I recommend it across the board. I think depending on your use case scenario, like I mentioned earlier, it might be worth it, but for a lot of people out there, I don't think it's going to be worth it. But again, we'll see what happens with patches and updates and things like that. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thanks a lot for hanging out. I'm going to go actually try to get some rest. I'm probably going to go take a nap. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I felt like my throat was starting to get sore. So I'm going to go ahead and just rest for a little bit. Try to get my sleep schedule back on track too. Maybe take a nap, wake up, and then stay up all night, and then try to sleep during tomorrow before I go to work. But yeah, that is Doom for technically Xbox One, but it's also on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Nice little surprise Saturday stream. I'm going to see if anyone else I know on YouTube is streaming right now. I don't think they are. It would be really cool if someone was, because then I could send you guys over there. I've never actually rated anybody on YouTube. And actually, it looks like PC Wizard would be he's not going to be streaming for another hour, and I'm definitely not playing for another hour, so that's a bummer. Oh well. Yeah, can't send you guys anywhere on YouTube. We can't raid anybody, which is a bummer, but it's okay. No, this is not DOSBox. No, this is a new port of Doom to modern consoles, so it's not DOSBox. Let's see. Mobus says, "Peace, man. Love your content. Glad you caught the stream." Well, thank you, Mobus. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. I might actually post this archive later tonight. If I don't, it'll go live on Tuesday, because I will be posting a Let's Play tomorrow. So if I post a Let's Play on Sunday, I usually try to have these Saturday archives go up later on in the week. So, but yeah, Carlos, take care, man. No reason. Take it easy. Arioka, Lovelorn Nick. The Tower of Babel music was awful. Lawnmower, I says, thanks, I suppose. Dasan, good stream. James, hope you feel better, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. No more inner demons. And existence. Well, yeah, guys, I'm out. So thanks again for hanging out. I will hopefully see some of you guys on Thursday's stream. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. We're going to have to figure that one out. But yeah, we will definitely be back. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Archive should be up. If not tonight, it'll be up in a couple of days, probably Tuesday. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. So, but yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Until the next one, take it easy.